Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to answer this question overall, talking on haters liking to argue, but answering that question, why do they like to argue? Because it confuses me. For as long as I've been a content creator, I never understood why haters, they like that. They like that, I guess, I want to call it attention, but at the same time, it's like if you're dealing with somebody, like I guess, like at one point in time, I know I was so with the arguing, like, oh, I always had time, and as I get older, I'm like, I really don't have time to be out there arguing with people about stuff where it's like, if you already have your mind made up, why argue about it? Like that's something where it's just, if I, for an example, so if I know I like apple juice, and then somebody's trying to convince me on why I shouldn't like apple juice, and I'm like, fam, I already have my mind made up. So it's literally going to take an art, not even that. It's going to take everything that exists, all right, in this lifetime to convince me not to like apple juice. But people ain't got that type of time to be taking everything. I mean, within this world, outside of this world, outside of the galaxy, outside of everything, it is going to take everything. Like you're gonna have to hit me with some hard facts on why not to like apple juice. But until then, fam, I'm gonna be drinking my apple juice, all right? But no, it's like you got people that want to argue with you about that, and then they want to like wait until the next day and the next day and the next day, and I'm like, fam, that's too much. That's just way too much. I'm like, nah. At one point, it seemed like it was fun to argue. Like, I know I remember back on my earlier days on the internet, oh, I was always for the arguing and stuff. Like, I remember arguing with One Direction fans for like 2-3 days maybe. It was like fans, people that I've never met, and then it was also friends that I had went to school with. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how is this happening right now? But at the same time, I'm like, this is funny. Like, I always look forward to like responding to a tweet, responding to a comment. And then as I got older, I'm like, fam, I'm an adult now. I can't be carrying on like this. Like, I can't be sitting around arguing about stuff where it's like there ain't even no reason to argue about it. It's like it's full circle to this like apple juice, example where it's like, why am I sitting down wasting my time? Because that's how I look at it. I look at it as a waste of time. I look at it as like, okay, we're not going to agree. So why should we continue on talking? And that's the thing, like that's what I'm more so trying to figure out is, why does that continuing on the argument, why does that still, like, why does that happen even after the fact of like, okay, you got your opinions, you got your feelings, I got my opinions and my feelings. Where do we go from here? And that's one thing that I feel like I haven't figured out with haters, is that they want to be right on whatever the argument is. So for my case, it's like, with the content that I put out and stuff, they want, I guess, me to like submit to the idea of quitting whatever it is that I'm doing and stuff with content creating, whether it's reactions, music, gaming, or like whatever the content is and stuff. But they want me, I guess, to just pretty much quit and stuff. And I'm like, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna quit because you want me to quit. I'm gonna quit because I want to quit. The reason why I would quit is because it's just the pressure is too much. But I'm like, I've never been in that situation where the pressure has been too much for me with content creating. Even now, where I have like this newfound fame, it might not be a whole lot, but I'm saying though, it's still good for me. But still, I can look at this and be like, I feel comfortable. And that's how I even feel with, like, I gotta take my watch off real quick, but just because I haven't got no messages, but I'm like, I can just feel like somebody's getting ready to message me, and then it's just gonna throw me all off track. But I feel so comfortable with content creating and just overall content creation that why I ask myself that question, like, why should I quit? Like, what would be the reason for me to quit, where it's like, okay, I'm in a good spot, I'm, making friends and fans literally every day. And it's one of those things where it's all like, why should I quit? You know, like why? And that's somewhere it's like you gotta ask a hater, and that's the funny thing about it with haters is that they'll never respond to like any of the questions where it's like a haymaker question. Like that's one thing that I always find myself doing is making either haymaker statements or or asking haymaker questions where it's like there ain't no coming back from that. Like they want to convert to something else. Like I ain't had it where I then said some like things to I could think of a time where I remember a hater, he had called me a delusional monkey, and I think, you know, if you know who I am, you know that, yeah, you don't call no black person no monkey and stuff. But he was trying to argue with me that, oh, it's okay to say that, and I'm like, okay, well, and the funny thing was is like, and this was the haymaker question. I'm like, okay, well, why won't you go over to because I think he lived in New York, so I was like, why don't you go over to Harlem or Brooklyn or what was that area in Everybody Hates Chris, Bed-Stuy. I'm trying to think of some other like black areas in New York and stuff. But I'm like, no, go to some black people and say that to them and see how they react to it. And I remember he was all like, why do you think the funny thing was is like I didn't even have to say it, but he knew what would have happened to him if he would have done that. But he was all like, why do you think black people are always gonna have a violent interaction with somebody if they get called a racist derogatory name? And I'm like, because that's usually what follows up. If you go up to a black person of any sorts and you call them a racist name, yeah, they're gonna feel a certain way about that. There might be some where they just kind of look at you like you're crazy, but I'm saying you go to that one where they're on their first strike. They still got one more strike, so they're in the clear. They're all like, I don't care if I get another strike, but yeah, maybe after this next strike, yeah, I might want to slow down. But if they know that if they're only on strike one or they ain't even got no strikes, like there's literally they got a clean record, and you approach them and you say something racist, yeah, they're gonna most likely swing on you. I had to say there's probably a good 75 to 80% of black people that will swing on you if you call them a racist derogatory name. But I guarantee and I promise you, you have a 100% chance of getting swung on if you go up in a hood area. I'm saying like you go into a hood area down south, you go to a hood area back east, up north, freaking here in the west. I'm telling you right now, you have a 100% chance of getting swung on. You have a 100% chance of getting swung on. If you say something racist to a black person, you have a 100% chance of getting swung on by a white person. If that black person got a white friend and they hear you call them something racist, and they're all like, okay, well my black friend don't really be fighting with people like that, but I do. I'm about violence. Yeah, you're gonna get swung on. So there's just one of those things where it's like you gotta look at all the options. You just can't look at your options and just think like, oh, okay. And that's the thing though with haters is that they only look at the stuff that they're saying, and in their head it makes sense. But it's like if you hit them with like some hard hitting questions or some hard hitting statements, examples, anything hard hitting, they're not going to look at that. They're not going to understand that. They're only going to understand what they're saying. So that's why I'm like, my advice to any and everybody out there dealing with a hater, like there's one content creator that I follow. I don't even know how we even came across each other. They just randomly had followed me one day. Off of like it was like a backup account and their main account, and I was like, oh, okay. I don't know if they've met me like through, or not met me, but like discovered my content or something, or they just seen that I followed mutual people and things. I don't even think we follow mutual people. It's just just a random follow and stuff. But anyways, no, I see that they're dealing with haters and stalkers, and it's like talking to that content creator where if you're dealing with something like that for the first time, the 10th time, the 100th time, the 1,000,000th time, you know, it's just something where it's like with haters, they're only going, everything that they say, they're always going to be right, you know. But it's like if you hit them with something where it's like it's like a question or a statement that you would say to like a random person that you've never met and stuff, and it's something that you would say to them, and it's like, yeah, it's I feel like that's how conversations need to be, where it's like, okay, like we can not so much as agree, but like we can hear out what the other, because that's one thing that I've always have done is like I heard out what my haters have to say. I don't listen. The funny thing is like I hear what they say, but I don't listen to them because it's always putting me down. It's never like, oh, no, let's better this man, let's put him in a better situation, let's better his content creating. No, it's like, oh, let's think of another way of harassing him, let's think of another racist derogatory name to call him, let's find another way to spread hate across his content and stuff. Because I think when I sit down and I think of all the different dramas that I've been in, it's like that's not something that I can look at and be like, this is gonna help me. The only way I guess it would help me is to avoid it the next time I get in the mix of it. No, I'm like, I got to avoid that. I can't get in the mix of that, because it's people like that. It's like they want to be around the drama. They want to stay surrounded by the drama, and I'm like, nah. I'm at a point in time in my life where I'm all like, the drama, the hate, the negativity, all that. I'm done with it. I'm putting it to the side. And I've said this before, the only time I will talk on it is if I'm just telling a story, or if I'm trying to pass out advice to other content creators and stuff, because I'm saying like you got a content creator coming up every single day, so I'm like, if I can post an episode like this to help them with their content creating journey and stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna do what I can and things. But as far as like getting into like reigniting beefs or getting into any new beefs, no, I'm retired with the beef and stuff, because it's pointless. It's like, it's something where it's like, okay, we're not gonna see eye to eye, so what's the point? It's like and I have to say that's probably the most hard-hitting question that I can ask a hater. It's like, okay, we're not gonna see eye to eye. You don't like me. I don't care for what you're saying. So where do we go from here? It's like, and it's something where it's like then they want to, I guess, like in a way insult me. I'm like, oh, you got an attitude problem, and I'm like, yes, I do. Now what? I'm like, that's something where it's like, you're telling me something that I already know. So it's like, what, like, okay, now where do we go from here? You just told me something that I already know. So it's like, there wasn't no progression. There wasn't no, like, elevation in this and stuff. So it's like, now what? So like, yeah, I had to say, like, that's probably my best advice to anybody out there dealing with like any sort of like negativity in your life, whether it is content creating or outside of content creating, whatever it is. Just ask that person some hard-hitting questions. Sit down. It might sound weird, but it's like, sit down and think of the argument before. Like, if you got beef with a person, like let's say you might have like beef with a friend, or not, maybe not a friend, but let's say a family member. I feel like we all might have that one family member where we don't get like we don't see eye to eye with them and stuff. There's always some like problems when you and that family member comes within each other. But yeah, let's say next Thanksgiving, and you see this family member and you're all like, I already know it's gonna be a situation and stuff. They might ask me some questions that I don't feel like asking, and then it just puts me in an awkward spot. But it's like, no, put them in an awkward spot. So I'm trying to think of something. Let me see. Okay, let's say like you're a sneakerhead or something, right? I'm just thinking, I was like, I don't know, I got to looking around, and I was just like, we're thinking, and I'm like, okay, sneakers. But yeah, let's say you're a sneakerhead, and then let's say you wear a pink pair of Jordans or something. So like, yeah, let's say if you're a guy, or maybe if you're a girl and you wear like a manlier looking pair of Jordans, or yeah, let's say it's like some Jordans meant for men, but it's like, that's something where it's like, okay, like you can find both, because I just recently got me some unisex Jordans and stuff. So it's like, yeah, a pair of Jordans that men and women can wear and things. But no, anyways, let's just say for the scenario and for the example, you're a man. You got you on a pink pair of Jordans, and this family member, they want to like throw some shade towards that and stuff. They're all like, oh, they wearing some pink Jordans. I'm like, I wonder why they're doing that. And then it's like, I wonder why you got a bad credit score. I wonder why you got 1 foot longer than the other one. It's like, why does your head look lopsided? It's like, and that's the stuff. See, that's the stuff that I would say, But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, no, ask them some stuff where it's either gonna have them thinking, or it's gonna be a hard hitting question where it's like they're not expecting you to say that and stuff. Yeah, it might start a fight, but overall, at the end of the day, that's just letting them know, you gotta back up off of me. You gotta leave me alone. And that's something like getting back to this, to the haters and stuff. Yeah, they don't understand that. They don't understand to leave people alone. And it's weird. It's just really weird to me when it's like I see people, and then it's like seeing another creator deal with it. Like, I've been paying a lot of attention to this one creator, and I'm actually and that's probably gonna put me right back into the drama and stuff. But no, I just think that it's messed up where it's like I see this creator where they're dealing with like hate and drama and all that stuff, and they dealing with a stalker, like they be posting about that on the regular. And I think they just recently posted a YouTube video talking about that. And it's crazy because it's like, how does a person have that much time in their life? Like, what do you got going on in your life to where you're like, hey, you know what, I ain't even gonna focus on myself no more. I ain't gonna focus on my life. I'm gonna focus on them. I'm gonna focus on how I can make their life miserable and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't got that type of time. I'm like, you know, people that want to sit around and they want to do stuff like that, this is just my little, you know, not secret, but it's, yeah, because it ain't really a secret. I feel like any and everybody know this. But when somebody is paying that much attention to you, they're not doing nothing productive in their life. No, they're really not. That's something where it's like, you guys sit down and you gotta think about it. I'm gonna lay out 24 hours in your life and then 24 hours in the hater's life. So 24 hours in your life, you use some of those hours to sleep at night. Okay, so you wake up in the morning, you might have a job, you might have a career that you're following, you know, you might have a hobby that you're following, but regardless of whatever it is, but yeah, let's say, you know, just for the scenario, you're a content creator, but it might be with some other stuff. Like, it might be like you might have that hater at a job, a career, content creating, family member, whatever, but we're going to use content creation as the example. But anyways, you wake up, you write down a bunch of different ideas of what you're going to do today with content creating. You post a bunch of different videos, you stream, post some stuff on TikTok, do a podcast, post some stuff on other social media platforms, and then that hater goes through each and every one of those posts. They go any and everywhere, and they're spreading all this hate and all this negativity, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, you go through your day being productive, and then you go right back to sleep. So you spent your 24 hours wise. You know, you did something good for them 24 hours. And then let's lay out the 24 hours of the hater. They might be sleeping at night. If not, they're waiting for you to post something. That's weird by itself. But anyways, they're waiting for you to post something. Whole life is passing them by. I sound like that dude that did them college commercials. But anyways, whole life is passing them by. Then they see that you done posted a video. Oh, now I gotta dislike. Oh, I gotta leave hate comments. I gotta start up arguments and all this other stuff with them. I gotta point out things that just ain't nobody else paying attention to and stuff. They're like, why are you recording? And it just be some old dumb stuff on top of that. They were like, why are you recording videos during the day? I've said this before, but your lighting is horrible. You need to fix that. And it's like, okay, nobody else is talking about that. You can see me, you can see whatever it is that I'm talking about. Yeah, let's say you're doing like sneaker review videos or something. You can clearly see the sneaker, you can see everything else. So it's like, really though, it's like, is it that much of a problem? It's like, okay, well, I tell you what, turn up the brightness or go to American Best, Lens Crafter, Walmart. I think Walmart sells glasses, but you go there, get you some glasses, and you do all the seeing that you need to do. But until then, I ain't changing up nothing. All right, and you leave it, and you say that one time, and it's like, you would think they would hear that. No, it's like the thing is this, with a hater, they only listen when you say something that they want to hear. Other than that, they're not listening to anything else that you're saying. And that is, I had to say, that is the downfall of all haters. They don't listen to what another person is saying. They just only want to hear what they want to hear, and then they leave it at that. And I had to say, that is one of the main reasons why haters never elevate. They never go nowhere in life. They are stuck in that small little area until they actually start doing something productive with their life. So, anyways, if you guys is wondering, you know, why the haters like to argue, overall, they ain't got nothing going on in their life, right? So that's why they sit. But you do got something going on in your life. So to that content creator or to that employee at wherever, to that person following their career, hobbies, whatever you got going on, or that just random person in the family, friend group, and you just got somebody out there just hating, understand this. They ain't got nothing going on in their life, and that's why they're trying to make your life miserable, because it's a jealousy thing. It really is a jealousy thing, where it's like they're jealous at the fact that you found happiness on whatever it is that you got going on, and so that's why they're like, oh, let me go and be all negative and hateful and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you know, with friends, you can easily cut a friend off. Family member, it might be a little bit more difficult. With somebody on the internet, yeah, you might be able to block them, and then they might stay away. But if not, yeah, you might deal with one of those ones where it's like they've leveled up from hater to stalker, where they done create another account. Now they're trying to harass you off of that account and stuff. And yeah, that's something that I've dealt with, and it's just weird, man. But Anyways, but yeah, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like and subscribe if you're viewing this on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.